My name is Stephanie. Welcome to Keto Mom or Keto Mom Secrets. Guess what? Today is a day of adaptability. It is a Monday if you're tuning in live, and I want you to know something. I have had to be adaptable this morning. And so in general, as you're tuning in, here is my normal typical morning. Is I like to go live. I like to talk about mindset. I like to go through books. I like to help people on their journey of thinking right so that other things in their life fall into place, whether it's the food that you're eating, it's your health journey, it might be relationships or all different areas, parenting, marriage, financially. The point of Keto Mom first started with just going through recipes. At any point in time, I would love to help you with how to eat low carb, how to eat keto, some keto tips and different things like that. But what I've learned over the course of the last 8 years in starting this page and down this route of Keto Mom is most people honestly need help with their thinking. And what does that look like? And so we've been going through different books for the last 2 years. My Facebook is being very silly right now and it won't let me go live. So I'm on Instagram and I'm on YouTube, but I don't want to not do something. So I said, hey, we're going to start a new book today. It's called The Compound Effect. And what happens when, well, not always, something I love to help people understand and something that really has changed my life and my husband's life and our 4 girls is really having an awareness of AQ and EQ, an awareness of how I handle situations, an awareness of the power of your mindset and thinking. So this morning I got up, I was super excited. We're going to go through this book, and guess what? Facebook isn't working. So I could have easily gotten frustrated. I could have easily been down this negative route and not have done anything. But guess what? I am choosing to make today great. Oftentimes I'll say, hey, have a great day, or this week is going to be great. But what happens if you change the verbiage and you said, I'm going to make today great? I'm going to make this week great. It gives you a little bit of a different way of saying it, but I'm choosing to make today great. If something doesn't go the way that I expected or the way that I had thought about it, I can be adaptable. I can handle my EQ, which stands for your emotions. I don't have to react, but I can respond in a different manner. And I can choose to go down a route of let's be adaptable and what can we make work? And of course, I have an incredible husband who knows how to make things stream on different platforms. So here's what I like to do. We're going through a book. You can go to ketomomsecrets.com and you can click on book club and go through the last books, all the books that we've gone through in the last 2 years to deal with your mindset and your emotions and helping you realize the power of your thinking is so important. Something we like to say on the Keto Mom page, it's not my saying, it's from Joseph McClendon III, but he says, as I think, so I feel, as I feel, so I do, as I do, so I have, right? Today I could have easily thought, oh my goodness, I could have been frustrated. I could have said, this isn't going to work. I'm going to quit. I'll start a different day. It created a feeling of frustration. And out of the frustration, I would have done nothing. And therefore we would have nothing. But I went, all right. First of all, I told my husband, hey, Facebook isn't working. I took a deep breath, a feeling of I could be frustrated, but I'm going to go, hey, babe, can you help me? And then we went down the route of taking a different action, not out of frustration, but out of what's the word? We're making a pivot. Like we're going to do something different. We had the awareness and now we're going to go, what can we make work? And we're taking action. All right. So we are just starting this book. It's called The Compound Effect. You can tune in here at any point in time and go along with me. Just follow along in the book. You can get the book yourself, but here's what it's about. It's the compound effect. Have you guys ever heard of that? Whether it's in money and compounding money or compounding consistent action over time will get you to where you want to go. Most people join my page because they're like, I want to eat keto. I need to lose some fat. Please help me on my fat loss journey. That's awesome. And so in chapter 1, which we're just going to be starting, the author says this. He goes, here is what I want you to understand. And most people don't want to sit with this word because it can be frustrating. And the word is consistency. And we're going to learn how to compound small steps over time. So I have a question for you because I'm sure you're playing full out. And if you can comment, I want to know if you believe this is true or false. Tell me below. Slow and steady wins the race. True or false? We live in an instant society with Instagram and Insta everything, and at the click of a button, we can have what we want. We can search and answer. We can buy something. We can microwave our food. Like, we want something so fast and so quick. But when it comes to your health and fitness, there's things that I would say if you came to me and you wanted coaching on how to feel better, how to lose weight, how to get stronger, and I'll say, all right, here's something I need you to understand. You didn't get here overnight. You don't get to go back, and you don't get to get there, wherever you want to go, overnight. We watch Instagram and Insta stories, and we watch all of these incredible success stories. And in our heads, we don't know, we don't realize, we don't research. They didn't tell us the years that it took for them to get to where they are today. And so we're going to dive in, and it's called the compound effect in action. What does that look like? How can this apply to your life? And how can it give you awareness of, all right, I want to get healthier. How many of you want to get healthier, stronger? How many of you have a health goal? That is what we're going to dive into. And so he basically says this, right? A word, consistency, that's the word that many people don't really truly take into effect of, like, what does that actually mean? So he tells a whole bunch of stories. I'm not going to read the stories to you, but he goes, let's dive into what the compound effect actually means. He gives you two different examples. We're going to dive into an example about money and dive into an example about three of his friends and what it actually took for them to get the results, or the opposite of what they actually wanted. So he goes, the compound effect is the principle of reaping huge rewards from a series of small, smart choices. He goes, most people get tripped up on the simplicity of the compound effect. For instance, they quit after 8 days of running because they're still overweight. Or they stop practicing the piano after 6 months because they haven't mastered the chopsticks, or they haven't mastered this incredible song, right? What they don't realize is that these small steps, seemingly insignificant steps, completed consistently over time, will create a radical difference. So have you guys ever heard the power of the magic penny? So he says, if somebody came to you today and they said, hey, I will give you $3 million today, or I will give you, let me see how he phrases it. I'll give you a single penny that doubles in value every day for 30 days. What would you take? You can take the $3 million today, or you can take the penny that doubles in value every day for 31 days. Do you know what that is? Do you know what that equivalent is? Maybe you've heard this. I think it's super powerful. Hey, if you're brand new, I am I was going to say I'm an incredible mom.
Yeah, you are. You are.
Well, thank you. I am incredible. Power of an I am statement. I have an incredible husband, incredible 4 daughters. I'm a homeschool mom and 4 dogs. So at any point in time, you will hear one of them, usually. And that just makes it great, right? Like, okay. So do you want the $3 million or the penny? Maybe you've heard this and maybe you're like, well, I probably should choose the penny because you're telling me this for a reason, but for real, here's how it works. He goes, you can have the $3 million, or you get the penny. It starts to double. On day 10, you have $5.12. So on day 10 of having the penny, you have $5.12. He goes, after day 20, with only 11 days left, the penny has reached $5,243. So you've got 10 days left. And right now you're at $5,243. It fast forwards and goes all the way to 31 days. And if you're thinking, yeah, I know, I'm sure you have more money. But listen, the power of the compound effect it's going to be similar in your health journey. After 31 days, you do not have $3 million like you would have been handed on day 1, but you have $10,737,418.24. $10 million because of the compound effect, because of the small little compound over the course of 31 days. Of course, we all would go, give me the penny. I'll take the $10 million, right? But it's having an awareness of the power of consistency over time. Here's another example. He says, I'm going to give you 3 friends. He has 3 friends. Their names are Larry, Scott, And Brad, let me give you this scenario because this might be you. And maybe you've done all of the diets and all of the things, and you're like, listen, Steph, I've tried everything. I want to get healthier. I want to get stronger. And I want you to know that if you truly want to be healthy and strong, what happens if I said, what if it's going to take you a year to see results? What if it's going to take you 2 years? And if you consistently did action over time, would you put in that year to 2 years to feel healthier and stronger over the course of the rest of your life? Would you do the work? And so he gives you an example. He goes, I have 3 friends. Let's say there's Larry, right? Larry is a happy person. Larry isn't going to change anything in his life. Larry is going to do what he always has done. He's got a good life. He says, all 3 of my friends make the same amount of money. They're all married. He goes, they make about $50,000 a year. He goes, they're married. They're at average health, body weight. They're average. That's how he's explaining his 3 friends. He goes, Larry doesn't want to change anything. Larry just wants to keep going with his life. He's not going to add more calories. He's not going to work on his diet. He's not going to read anything, but he's not going to add anything negative. He's just going to exist. That's Larry. Then he has his friend Scott. Scott starts by making small choices, seemingly insequential choices, positive changes. So what Scott starts to do is he doesn't fuss over it, but he goes, okay. Scott goes, I'm going to decrease my calories every single day by 125 calories. He goes, I'm going to start walking a couple extra 1,000 steps a day. And then he also starts reading a book, like 10 pages a day. So Scott isn't doing a lot. That's funny. But all he does is he decreases his calories for about 125 calories a day. He ups his steps and he starts reading, right? So Scott is going, I'm going to do just a little bit more to improve my life. And then we have Brad. And Brad decided that he bought a big screen TV. He wants to enjoy life a little bit more, meaning he's like, I want to start. He starts watching the Food Network. He starts cooking a little bit more desserts. He decided he wants to watch a little bit more TV. And Brad also decides that he is going to drink 1 extra alcoholic drink a night. It doesn't seem like that much, right? He's making 1 extra treat, watching a little bit more TV, and what he's doing is he's adding 1 alcoholic drink a night. So over the course, he goes, at the end of 5 months, he tracks these 3 friends. Larry's staying the same. Scott added a little bit more walking, reading 10 pages a day, decreased his calories by 101 snack. Brad added a snack, watches a little bit more TV, and then he has 1 extra drink at night. He's like, listen, I want to enjoy life, right? As we all do. So he goes, after 5 months, do you think you saw a difference in those 3 friends? He goes, there was no difference. None. After 5 months, all right? He goes, all right. At the end of 10 months, we still see 0 difference. But he goes, after 18 months, there's a slight difference in his friends. Larry has stayed the same. Scott's feeling a little bit better. And Brad is feeling a little bit worse. After 18 months, a year and a half of doing something consistently that doesn't seem like it would either add value or take away anything from your life. All right, here's the results. He goes, after 25 months, we start seeing very much a difference in each one. He goes, Brad is now fat while Scott is trim. You guys, after 2 years of doing these small steps day in and day out that seem insignificant, and neither of them wanted to make a huge change. Some of you come in and you hit the ground running doing keto, and then you burn out, and after 2, 3, 4 weeks, you're done. And you've done that consistently over and over again with all of the diets and all of the different things because you weren't consistent day in and day out for the long term, right? So Brad got fatter, Scott got trimmer, Larry just stayed the same, all by cutting 125 calories. In 31 months, Scott had lost 33 pounds. So Scott is the one that decreased his calories by 125. Scott started reading and working on his mindset, and all he did was, let's say, add 2,000 steps a day. It wasn't hard. He said, I know that it's simple actions, but it's also simple for me not to do. But he committed, and he lost 31 pounds over the course of those 2 years, while Brad gained 31 pounds, giving them a 62-pound difference in those 2 years. Larry stayed the same. So what he said is this: my friend Larry didn't do anything in his life, but he's also more unhappy. He just got crabbier. Brad got more unhealthy and now 62 pounds away from Scott. And Scott did simple steps over the course of 2 years to where he was like, listen, I can cut out a snack. I can be more aware of the foods I'm eating. I can add a little bit more steps and go for a walk, and I could read 10 pages a day. And there's a huge difference. You can look at this. Let me show you this. He goes over 27 months. Larry stayed the same and got crabbier. We've got Scott, who feels incredible, and Brad now is regretting maybe the big screen TV or making extra treats and adding in that alcoholic drink, right? And you don't realize it, but you might be sitting there going, oh yes, that's me. I'm maybe sitting at 40 or sitting at 50, and you're like, you guys, we could easily go, what has happened over the last 2.5 years, almost 3 years, because of what has happened in the world? You might go, oh yeah, I see what has happened over almost 3 years. And I have people that message me on a daily basis. They're like, I have let myself go over 3 years. I stopped moving my body. I didn't think I was eating that much, but I have started eating more. And now I have the result of 3 years sitting on the couch and not doing much that I need to re-lose. The power of this book is going to teach you that if we learn how to snack less, move our body a little bit more, and work on our mindset, how much over the course of the next, now let's backtrack. You've been sitting more, eating more, and now we need to reverse that and get back into gear. It doesn't mean you need to go to the gym for 3 hours. It doesn't mean you need to dive into this crazy keto diet. What I'm coaching people right now over these next 5 days is the power of intermittent fasting, what it actually can do to people's bodies. We have an intermittent fasting kit I'm walking people through, and I'm helping them understand that if you can just go, all right, I'm going to intermittent fast or give myself a window of time. That's basically what Scott did. He subtracted some calories. He stopped snacking as much. We're going to work on moving our body more. It doesn't have to be 3 hours in the gym. It can be an extra walk per day. And I'm going to start reading and working on my mindset, what that can do over the course of even a year for you, if you let me help you understand and work towards that, can change your life significantly. But remember, your body isn't an Instapot. Your body isn't Instagram. Your body isn't a Google search. Your body isn't a microwave. It's not Prime shipping. Some of you are like, I've done it for 2 weeks and I haven't seen any movement. If you consistently follow along. Let me help you with your mindset, but your Insta might be an Insta year or two. But if you did that over the course of time, and I've got 7 steps that I help walk people through, that if you do those small steps day in and day out, remember, those small steps might seem insignificant, but when you do them, and you can easily not do them because you might be like, oh, it's not a big deal. I didn't go for my walk today, right? It's the simple steps that you can go, oh, it's not a big deal. I'll go for an extra walk, or I'll do it tomorrow. Don't let your tomorrow keep going until it's been a month. So let's get some of those simple steps in process for you. And the biggest thing that you need to understand is the expectation. Like, what is your expectation of your fat loss journey? If it's, I need to get to vacation at the end of the summer and I need to lose 20 pounds. All right. Can you do it? For sure. Is it going to be extreme? 100%. Will you be one of those that come back to me next year and go, I gained the pounds, I lost the pounds, I gained the pounds? Probably. So what this book is going to help us realize is the power of the compound effect, the simple steps consistently day in and day out. I want to help you with that. I hope that story made you go, oh my goodness, I don't want to be the same, because we like to say, listen, you don't really ever stay the same. You usually get worse. And let's learn how to make those little steps. Do not skip your walk, or do not skip those little things that seem so insignificant, because I promise you, over the course of time, like our friend Scott, he lost the weight, he felt better, It even said his story about how he felt like his marriage was better, his relationships were better, he was happier at work because he did the little things over time. And so, thanks for tuning in. Your presence matters. We'll continue to go through this book called The Compound Effect. You can always go to ketomomsecrets.com and look at all of the other books that we've done. You can click on how to get started for some guidance on food. You can go to ketomomsecrets.com and click on recipes. I've got tons of trial packs going out for ketones. So these are my mom fuel. I talk about these often, but I've got tons of trial packs going out. I would love to coach you on the power of our summer slim down challenge and what we're doing with that. So ask all of your questions below. Send me a message on the Keto Mom Facebook page or Instagram, and I'd love to help you on your journey. Thank you for tuning in. Your presence matters, and I look forward to seeing you